If you're 13, 14, or 15 years old, this is what you need to be doing now to maximize your SAT score your junior year of high school. My kids, Rory and Sage, just took the SAT, and I've had a lot of questions from students on what they can be doing now to make sure that they are prepared for the SAT when they take it their junior year. And this is what we learned. Okay, the first thing we learned is that studying and learning about the SAT will improve your score, but it will only improve your score about 100 to 200 points. Studying will not impact the foundation you have in those subjects, and you can't just study one or two subjects here and there as you're preparing for the SAT. You have to know everything because you don't know what's going to come up on the test. So you need to have a really strong foundation in both language arts and math, and have had really good teachers that were very thorough and covered every little topic so that no matter what comes up on the SAT, you've seen that concept before and you're ready to answer it. So right now at 13, 14, or 15 years old, as your language arts and your math teacher are teaching different things, make sure you're paying attention to every little concept. Even if a teacher says, oh, this won't be on our chapter test, it could still be on the SAT. You need to be paying attention and making sure that you know that concept. I specifically am a high school math teacher. I teach geometry, and as I was studying with my daughters and helping them with the questions, there wasn't one geometry question that I didn't cover in high school geometry. So everything on the SAT, or most of the things on the SAT, are being covered in your classes. You might not realize it now because you're not thinking about it, but just making sure that you're very thorough and you're learning all the little skills that your teacher is teaching will put you in a good place coming into the SAT your junior year. For the reading and writing portion of the SAT, you need a super high reading level. I would recommend now choosing texts with higher and higher levels of vocabulary to make yourself comfortable with reading at that high level. And that segues perfectly into my next point. You need an extensive vocabulary. Over the next few years, if there's any word you don't know, or as you come across new words, look them up and try to commit them to memory. There are words on that SAT that I have never seen before in my life, and if you want to maximize your SAT score, you need to know them. And the last thing I told my students to focus on for the SAT is punctuation. I know this comes up in language arts, and you may not even think it's important because you're like, hey, Microsoft Word can help me with punctuation. ChatGPT can help me with punctuation. Why do I need to know this? You need to know it for the SAT. You need to know where a comma goes, where semicolons go, when to use a semicolon versus a colon, when to use an em dash. That's new. So when your teacher is teaching this in language arts, pay attention because you'll need to know it. And the last point I'm going to make in preparing for the SAT is speed. You need to be able to fly through those language arts and math questions. There are some easier questions on the SAT, yes, but there are also a lot of hard ones. So you need to be able to fly through the easy ones to give yourself enough time to figure out the harder ones to really maximize your score. And that's all I have for now. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. Good luck. Bye.